too much in social legislation because some of the states want to do the right thing, whether it has to do with marriage and other social issues. And the states, under the Constitution, have a right to do this. But they've been denied this right because it goes to a federal court, the Supreme Court, and they rule and throw out these laws. They should not even hear these cases. That is why my approach to dealing with the marriage issue, the abortion issue, any social issue, is that the jurisdiction is removed. It's taken out of the federal courts, and we could do a lot more in what we want to do, whether it's right to life, rather than waiting until we have control of the Supreme Court or waiting until you amend the Constitution. This bill can be passed, and it should have been passed when we had the majority. Unfortunately, there was very little interest in it, but the We the People Act that I have is one bill that could pass, and it could have saved millions and millions of lives by preventing abortion by state law. I've introduced a few pieces of legislation dealing with the Federal Reserve. One is to get rid of the Federal Reserve by all practicalities. All practicalities, we cannot do that. It would be chaotic. My real position is that you legalize competition. Legalize the Constitution. That would be a bold step, and allow competition. That would take care of it. But there is one piece of legislation that's getting a lot of attention and support on both sides of the aisle, something that it would be great if you could get behind. And it was just introduced yesterday, and the number is 1207. And what it is going to do and can do is to audit the Federal Reserve. At least we can find out what they're doing. The law says that the GAO has the right to audit the Federal Reserve, except for A, B, C, D, and E, and that's everything that they do. So by law, they are prohibited. We're prohibited from auditing or getting any answers from the Fed, and yet they have more money and more control over our lives and your dollars and your future. They have control over the foreign policy and the domestic policy, and you don't have any right to know anything about it because I can't even get the information. It has to come about by the passage of legislation like this that demands that they are not independent and totally secret, and that they can rule this country through the power of creating money. It's a monstrous fraud. It is something that has existed throughout history where the king gets control of the money and they inflate the currency and dilute the metals and print the money and whatever. But it has to stop. And if we don't, believe me, this thing will get much worse. So this, to me, is a major step in the right direction. I want to go ahead and close and say that I am strongly encouraged, especially by the young people I've talked to in the last year. They're enthusiastic about liberty, defending it consistently, defending the Constitution, and realizing that the situation we have today is unworkable. The Social Security system is unworkable, and that we can defend all this by defending our Constitution, defend the rule of law, understanding where our rights come from, and say, yes, we want our freedom back, and we will assume the responsibility for ourselves. Thank you very much.